Breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Breaking news on WRAL at 6. A young child has died after being pulled from a pond in Wake County yesterday. We share the statement issued by the sheriff in just the last couple of minutes. Plus, 2 men are wanted in connection to robberies near UNC's campus. How students say they are changing some of their routines after learning of the crimes.
And it is already cool out there right now with temperatures in the 40s and 50s, but get ready for a very chilly night. We're going to talk about who has a frost advisory coming up.
Well, good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Julian Grace. We have sad news to update you about, and it involves a child pulled from a pond yesterday near Wake Forest. We've now learned that that little boy has died. Grace Holland is in the WRAL Live Center with what else we learned about this tragedy.
Yeah, Julian, this is a really sad update in this story. A 3-year-old boy died from his injuries after falling into a pond yesterday. Sky 5 was over that scene in Wake Forest. This was a water treatment plant on Hazen Tree Way. You see it there. This happened on Friday afternoon. That's when first responders came there looking for this little boy. They found him in the water, performed CPR, and then he was rushed to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Sheriff Willie Rowe issued a statement this afternoon saying, on behalf of our office, I extend our condolences to the family during this difficult time. We stand alongside them and the community as they navigate this loss. The sheriff's office says that this is still under investigation.
Oh, so tough to hear. All right, we want to bring your attention to this. Police are looking for 2 men linked to 2 armed robberies that happened this morning. Police say they both happened near UNC Chapel Hill's campus, one at Granville Tower student housing and another in the area of Crest Drive and Knoll Street. You see it right there on that map. Let's go to WRAL's Carly Hayes. She is live on West Cameron Avenue. And Carly, what do we know about this investigation at this point?
Julian, these 2 incidents happened in very popular area of Chapel Hill. We've been seeing a lot of students come by this way. It is a game day, but there are also a lot of students who live right here. And then this is where the other incident happened, very close to West Cameron Avenue. These same roads became very scary overnight. 2 people linked to a pair of armed robberies just minutes apart. Chapel Hill police believe 2 men assaulted victims with a gun and stole from them. Some UNC students tell us they haven't been looking over their shoulder here before, but they are shaken up by these incidents.
It always feels really safe on campus, but I'm I think now walking around here, especially down like West Cameron towards like Carver, I think I'll definitely think twice about walking by myself or like in the dark just with a couple of girls at night.
And the 2 victims, or the victims of these 2 incidents, I should say, did have minor injuries. Police haven't identified or arrested anyone yet. Students also received an Alert Carolina message this morning telling them to be alert and to report anything suspicious. Carly Haynes, WRAL News, live in Chapel Hill.
Look at this. A car crashed into a pole in Raleigh following a chase with state troopers. The crash happened at Falls of Noose Road and Old Wake Forest Road. Now you can see traffic lights nearly touching the ground. The driver suffered minor injuries, and the chase began just before 2:30 in the morning on Hammond Road near I-40 when state troopers tried to make a speeding stop. Troopers say the car sped off, reaching top speeds of 150 miles per hour. A portion of Boylan Avenue and Hargett Street are closed this afternoon after a crash involving a moped and a car. Our breaking news tracker got this video of the scene. Investigators say there were injuries but have not shared more about the conditions of the people involved. We're now learning more about that Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference investigation that involves a fight. You see it right here. It broke out after last night's game at NC Central. NC Central football won its final home game of the regular season against Howard on Friday night. The final score, 26-3. Then after the game, a large fight broke out between the 2 teams. The game was nationally televised on ESPNU. Coaches and Durham police can be seen trying to separate the teams. Now, we did reach out to both Durham police, who directed us to NC Central police. NC Central police have not commented at this time. We will update you on air and on WRAL.com when we learn more. All right, there is a chill in the air. We have a cold night ahead with the lows falling into the 30s. Meteorologist Anthony Baglione, he's here in the WRAL Severe Weather Center with a look at where this frost could fall, I should say. Hey, Anthony.
It's a bit of a tongue twister, Julian. Yeah, we're going to see this kind of set up here for us, I think, mainly from about the triangle up to the north. Anywhere you see that shaded color contour right there is where the National Weather Service has a frost advisory out for. Temperatures between about 33 to 36, and that's pretty specific. All that's saying is it is a likelihood for a large chunk of us from the triangle to the north to see that. 34 there is where we're going in Rocky Mount, mainly in the low to mid 30s. Some of those outlying spots pretty chilly. 34 there in Clarksville. In Raleigh itself, we're about 39. Durham is at 37. And then as we head closer to the southern parts of our viewing area, patchy frost is still possible, I would say, in a place like Sanford, but it's not going to be widespread where it might be for our northern counties. Coming up here, though, in just a little bit, we have a huge pattern change on the way that includes some cooler high temperatures, Julian. We're going to talk about when that gets here coming up.
Okay, thanks, Anthony. Asheville leaders say the boil water advisory may finally be lifted in a few days, and that is indeed good news, right? But people in the city continue to struggle in the aftermath of Helene, and for many, the situation is going to remain dire for some time. The hospitality industry relies on seasonal income, and the fall season's low volume has been devastating. Restaurant employee Ed Hogg says many workers cannot make ends meet and are facing challenges like unpaid rent, evictions, and depleted savings.
And I see a lot of people that are scared and a little bit of desperation there as people haven't been able to afford their rent. You know, I have some friends that switched apartments and they're paying their last month's rent, new rent and deposit, you know, and that's super steep for those guys.
Now, you may already know this, but Hogg says workers whose homes weren't directly damaged by Helene don't qualify for financial help from FEMA. That's why money donations are so important right now. Hogg also says Asheville already struggled with the labor shortage in hospitality before the storm. Now, he worries more workers may leave due to financial hardships, worsening the issues for businesses trying to reopen. It is a sobering statistic. Car crashes are among the leading causes of death among teens in the U.S., with distraction playing a major role. That's according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. This morning, young drivers lined up in Cary, though, to try and beat those statistics. WRAL's Eric Miller explains.
At Green Hope High School Sunday, it's ready, set, drive.
It's just a great reminder.
Parents like Jennifer Godwin bringing their teenagers out to the Street Safe driving program to tune up or turn around their driving.
I have a 15-year-old, and I thought it would be a great opportunity for him to get some actual behind the wheel driving experience.
Gives them a very dynamic introduction into the mechanics of how a vehicle works.
Regional coordinator for Street Safe, Michael Karen, has worked with thousands of teens over the years.
Countless.
He says this program helps reduce the risk for teens by letting them experience what could be a dangerous day on the road on a safe, closed track.
Making an quick evasive maneuver, hitting the brakes to avoid an object, things like that.
The teens are accompanied by an instructor, and Karen says this hands-on learning has real results, including for his own kids.
It totally opened their eyes and kind of showed them really the ramifications that can come from poor driving.
Students also get time in the classroom where they see and hear the consequences of poor and distracted driving, as affecting for the teenagers as the parents.
I can't imagine having someone come to me and go, hey, your son's not coming home.
Jennifer Godwin saying this lesson is coming home with the whole family.
That stays with you. I couldn't imagine, and I don't want him to imagine.
Eric Miller, WRAL News.
What a great course. The Raleigh Police Department is looking for new hires for officers ahead of its academy in December. They are specifically looking for North Carolina sworn officers. The department offers an abbreviated 4-week training plus a $5,000 signing bonus. You can learn more about next month's Lateral Academy on the police department's website. All the information is there for you. Unwanted spam calls are slowly but surely declining. That's according to the Federal Trade Commission. The commission says North Carolina was one of five states with the most complaints about spam calls. Still, the FTC says the number of reports regarding spam calls has dropped for the third year in a row. The commission's 2024 Do Not Call registry data book shows complaints down by more than half since 2021. The number of illegal robocalls was down about 100,000 to 1.1 million. Wow. 88 children are awaiting adoption in North Carolina. Today, the county government held an education fair to help them find their forever homes. And one woman shares how fostering and adopting can change a child's life. Plus, Marble's Kids Museum is celebrating a new outdoor space. Look at that right there. And it's designed for education and play. The custom features in this new experience. And we have an all-new SNL Saturday Night Live with Charlie XCX in bringing Brat to the SNL stage, pulling double duty as both the host and musical guest. It should be fun. All right, we'll see you in a little bit. We'll come right back with more. Let me explain what you're looking at here. This is a live look now at the downtown Cary Park celebrating 1 year of operations. There are festivities going on tonight and even a drone light show. If you can get on out there after the show, please do so. Such a beautiful park. I've been out there with my family. Well, Wake County's adoption fair wrapped up just a few minutes ago at 6. Prospective adoptive families were able to ask questions and talk with the Wake County Child Welfare staff, along with private agencies and other foster care and adoption resources.
But it's a great experience, and you're making a difference in a child's life forever. I have some children that have left foster care that are still in contact with me because you build relationships forever. You know, you nourish them and you love them at their time of need, and they don't forget that.
Wake County says children available for adoption are currently receiving foster care services. Most of the children waiting to be adopted are school-aged children, teenagers, groups of siblings just wanting to stay together, and children with special needs. Marble's Kids Museum is celebrating the opening of its renovated outdoor play space. Look at this closer. Families had so much fun today. And of course, the kids as well. The Marble's Playway features an expanded green space, native plants, shade structures, and custom pollinator-themed climbers. The Marble's Playway project started in 2022 with support from donors and community partners.
It's always been a fun area for families to relax and get a bite to eat, but it never quite had the amount of play we wanted so that kids could climb, explore, have adventures. We like outdoor education, we like outdoor play, so this gives families a chance to climb on our custom critter climbers. We have a big honeybee they can climb on, a dragonfly right behind me. They can explore, bring that same energy outside that they always have inside.
I know what you're thinking. Oh, I missed it. No, you didn't. There's another celebration for the Playway tomorrow from 9 to 5. Museum admission is not required to enjoy the outdoor space during business hours. Get on out there, have a good time. But you may need a jacket because it was chilly today, and Anthony, it's going to only be colder tonight.
Yeah, we have some chilly temperatures on the way for the next couple days for us, Julian. So that's what we're going to talk about here to start with. And then we have something to talk about as far as a big pattern change, which I'll get to here in just a second. We get us outside, though, right now. Here's our North Hills camera. I love looking at this one, just kind of overlooking all of course, North Hills, and sometimes we can see the city in the background. It is very calm for us across the area. What we have going on, clear skies. We also have calm winds. Anytime we get that combination, we can see temperatures cool off pretty fast. There's not much to kind of insulate us and keep those temperatures tucked in. And we're going to be needing to be tucked in tonight with how cold we're going to get. 49 there is where we sit currently in Rocky Mount, 55 around the Triangle and Durham there, 50 in Roxborough, 52 in Southern Pines. We will see temperatures, though, get pretty cold. That's why we do have frost advisories out anywhere in that blue shaded color contour, mainly from, let's say, Durham to the north. It does not include Raleigh. Durham, though, is included. Our northern counties, temperatures between about 33 to 36. What that's saying is frost is likely in those areas. If you have plants still sitting out in the patio, maybe some of those fall mums or just something you want to keep protected, I would head out now if you can and bring those in or just protect them in general. We're looking at temperatures right around 34 there. Clarksville tonight, 36 in Wilson, 37 in Goldsboro. Our southern counties looking at about 38 in Irwin, 39 in Fayetteville. So it will start off cold. If you need to walk the dog tomorrow morning, headed out to church, I would have the coat or at least a jacket to keep yourself yourself warm. It's going to be very similar, though, to what we saw today as far as afternoon high temperatures. We hit about 66 today. We should be at 68 tomorrow afternoon. It comes with a ton of sunshine, though, so that will help to warm us up. It should be a beautiful day overall. I know it's not quite Christmas yet, but feeling more like the holidays as we head into Thursday, Friday, so I had to break out that horrible background. The dog wearing the sweater, I just love that one. Colder weather, though, is on the way. We have about 3 more days. Temperatures there, at least 4, I would say, with including our Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, low 70s. We drop all the way into the 50s by the time we get to Thursday, Friday. And it does look like it's going to be a consistently kind of extended pattern of cooler temperatures. We've seen some this season where we get a couple days and then we get back up to 80 or something like that. I don't see that happening. This might last all the way through Thanksgiving with highs in the 50s. So just something interesting to talk about there. Let's get to the tropics, though. 45-mile-per-hour winds on currently Tropical Storm Sarah, unfortunately bringing a ton of rainfall. There is Honduras right there. It is going to make landfall into Belize over the next day or so. But then a bit of some at least good news out of a bad situation with the flooding right there. It does dissipate relatively fast. It could bring some tropical moisture kind of beyond this track as it gets closer to Florida. A hurricane or something strong at this point looks extremely unlikely. If that changes, I will let you know. But this may, fingers crossed, be the last storm that we're talking about this season. November 30th is the official end of hurricane season. Here's the next 7 days, though. So 72 as we head into our Monday, 70 on Tuesday. Our next couple rain chances there, Julian, into Tuesday night and Wednesday. And then we start feeling at least a little bit more like the holidays into next weekend for the Christmas parade in Raleigh.
Yeah, what a dip to 50s. You said it was coming, though.
Yeah, it'll be a change for us, feeling cooler.
All right, thanks, Anthony. Look who's here with us, the man, the myth, the legend. Let's talk about Duke.
Just for the record, by the way, I loved the Christmas dog background. I wanted to put that out there. Duke men's basketball did something today they haven't done since 1960. How the number 6 Blue Devils bounced back after losing to Kentucky. Plus, Pat Welter joins us from Chapel Hill ahead of UNC's football game against Wake Forest. The Carolina Hurricanes play 2 home games this weekend. We have some injury updates. First, let's go to Seth Jarvis. Jarvis has been placed on injured reserve, but don't panic. In the NHL, injured reserve technically starts when the injury occurred, not when the move is made. It's retroactive. Head coach Rod Brindamore has said they are being cautious with Jarvis. The hope is for him to start practicing again next week. Now to the goaltenders. Things are pointing towards Pyotr Kochetkov being able to return on Sunday. He was practicing this morning as the 3rd goalie. No real update on Freddie Anderson besides that he's longer than week to week. Brindamore confirmed this morning that it's not related to his blood clot problem from last year and that surgery could be an option. To basketball, Duke returns to Cameron Indoor hosting Wofford. I want you to pay attention to the passing on this possession. Mason Gillis, DeCon Knippel, to Patrick Gongba, Isaiah Evans, Tyrese Proctor, skadoosh. Duke had an assist on 80% of its made shots. Wow. Blue Devils dominated this one. Some maybe taking out some of that frustration after the loss to Kentucky. Gillis again to Sion James, Malik Brown, strong move down low. Wofford scored 14 points in the first half. Paint touches to passes to points. Caleb Foster had 13 versus the Terriers, and we'll finish with the leading scorer. Patrick Gongba getting some playing time, finds Tyrese Proctor in the corner. He hit 4 threes on Saturday. Duke bounces back 86-35 the final.
You know, like I said, we learn from it and just how we respond coming off adversity and just how we can keep playing together as a team, you know, try and get second side and just get into the flow of our offense a lot better.
It comes from just working and learning from the last game, from that loss. There's a lot of defensive miscommunications and errors from that game. So I think just growing from that, watching the film and learning, and then really just buckling down on our key fundamentals on defense of communicating, when we're switching, when we're not in different types of coverages, really helped us to just kind of lock them up today.
Now, I spoke to Tyrese Proctor before the season, and he said Duke's defense was going to be a problem for opponents. Today, they showed that. 35 points from Wofford. That is the fewest a Duke team has allowed in the shot clock era. In fact, it's the fewest points Duke has allowed since 1960. Head coach John Shire and freshman Con Knippel said Wofford missed some open shots, but it's an impressive showing from the Blue Devils on Saturday. At 8 p.m. tonight, the North Carolina Tar Heels host Wake Forest at Kenan Stadium. UNC would become bowl eligible with a win. WRAL Sports' Pat Welter gets us ready from Chapel Hill.
Lewis, words can't really describe how much change this UNC team has experienced since they last played a home game. October 12th, UNC suffers a heartbreaking last-minute loss to Georgia Tech, their fourth straight. Then are hit with the news that Tylee Kraft has passed away, the same day as the cancer awareness game. Since then, they attended his funeral and have channeled their grief and adversity into 2 straight dominant road wins. One more tonight versus Wake Forest, and they are bowl eligible.
I've read a lot about life and death here in the last month or two, and they all talk about you learn more from storms than you do from sunshine. You go through storms to find a rainbow. You have to handle tough things to make your life better. And right now, this is a tough team. They've had a bunch of stuff thrown at them. They've had negative talk. They've had people that have thrown them out. They've lost a player. They've had players sick and hurt. They're on their third quarterback, who now is playing as well as most quarterbacks in the country. So they've taken every negative thing that's happened to them, and over the last 2 weeks turned it into a positive.
Tylee's mom, September, will be at the game tonight, and she'll be greeted by several tributes in Tylee's honor. A Keep Swinging sign is hung above the entrance in the tunnel, and a Tylee Strong logo is painted on the field. Pat Welter, WRAL Sports, Chapel Hill.
And one last note, William Peace men's soccer won the USA South tournament last weekend, locking an automatic berth for the program's first NCAA tournament appearance. Their foe this morning was Mary Washington. Pacers trailing 2-0 in the second half. Diego Guzman gets this one unassisted on the free kick, but the Pacers do get on the board. Usar Umwega with the assist from Roberto Rayo, the program's first NCAA tournament goal. The William Peace loses 3-1 the final, Julian.
All right. Thank you, Lewis. And thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you later. Have a great night.